welcome to LEGO World. In today's episode, we are going to be building a lighthouse. Yeah, I said it, a lighthouse. So I'm going to start using a circle shape pattern with transparent blue, which is going to be the 3x3/4 circle plate. Thing that I want to make it a little bit bigger, so I have room to work with. Then I'm going to use earth green and place down a 2x4 brick. Then I went with the bright yellowish brick color. And I'm going to do the 2x3 brick with the curve to it. And then we're going to go bright yellow. And we're going to use the, I believe it's the wedge. The 1x1 wedge, and place it right there. So next we're going to go black. And I'm going to use the studs. But instead of putting them in the right area, I accidentally put them in the wrong area. So I backed them up and compensated to where they're supposed to go, into the right area. Then I just copied the color of my wedge to get a 2x3 brick to put in the middle of the studs and my 2x4 brick. So now I gotta pick a new color, which I went with the dark, well, the reddish brown. And I went with 1x2 flat. Then I went to get the 2x4 flat. Plate, and then I'm using the one by two, but the one that's got the little circlers to it. We go to bright red, we're going to get a 2x4 brick. And we're going to place it on top of the other 2x4. Then we're going to get a 1x2 brick. And then we're going to start building upwards here. Now the next step calls for arches. We don't have anything to go with arches. So it's going to be lightstone gray. I was going through the menus to see if there was anything I can use for arches. Or if there was an arch I could use, would have been nice. But apparently we don't have the arches I need for this build. So we're going to make our own archers. So we're going to start with a 1x1 brick. And I'm going to use the 1x2 inverted slope to make my little arches the best I can. I wanted to see if there was anything else I could possibly use. So the next step calls for 2 windows, and they were a certain type of window, but I compensated because we have something close to it. I just wanted to double check to see if I didn't have something exact. So I used something close to it, which is the tiny window. Next step was to make the doorway. Well, we don't have the door or the arch for it, so we're just going to make the same thing we made on the other side, which is going to be the arches. So you just copied what you did 2 steps back. I wanted to see if this door would fit, but the door is too big. So I decided to go with another just arch for this part. Then I decided to use the red 4x4 I guess plate it's called. Then we change our color again. To black. I'm going to use the 2x2 profile brick. I was going to use the 2x2 profile brick, but the next step called for something to go around it. And that thing we don't have. So instead of using the profile brick, we're going to use the big circular brick, and we're going to change it to like a stone white. I'm using the big round brick that we have, and I'm just going to copy the color so I don't have to keep going in there. And the next one on top is going to be the same brick, just in red, repeated by another white. Which I didn't put that on right, so I had to try and fix it. So basically, while building this, I'm starting to realize you have to compensate for a lot of things. And it's like deciding which bricks to use. So to finish it off, we're going to put a 2x4 red plate on top. Now you could have copied the red plate that you already put down, or you could have just went in menus and did it. I just did it by the menu. The next step called for an interesting piece we don't own, so I compensated again. So I made it stone gray, and it's a 2x2 plate. And then another piece we don't have, which it would look better, is like some type of fencing piece, apparently. So I'm a little shocked we don't have this piece. I would think we would have it, seeing that we're using the base set. So instead I used the bar fence type thing. I know it's not called that. I'm just calling it that for this demonstration. So our lighthouse is getting there. So now I choose the color black. And I'm going to use the profile brick in the middle there. But to make it work, you gotta go up 2, which I'm going to fix that in this video. Because I was going to the next step already. And then I realized I needed 2 of them to compensate for height of my fence. So I had to go back. I didn't have to do this all in menus, but I did it all in menus, of course. And add one more profile brick. Then I can go into transparent yellow. We're making the light of the lighthouse. Which is the coarse brick. Now again, we don't have this piece that we're supposed to use for the top of the lighthouse, so I'm gonna make my own. So I went with black. And we're going to use these little half circle arches. And not thinking of putting it up wrong. As you can see there, don't do my mistakes. But I decided to move it over so it's centered. You're supposed to use a like flat. I went with round-ish type. And I just capped it off with a flat tile. For on top. Which I think this came out pretty good. Now we're going to make the boat. The boat's going to be a blue. Well, two different color blues. One's going to be like an aqua. They wanted you to start with the 2x4 plate and then put it underneath inverted slopes. I like how that works, because you can't put them underneath because you already placed the brick down, so you literally have to work these steps a little backwards, which I find interesting. So I had to remove this, put my inverted slopes down first. So I went with the dark azul color. Get my inverted slopes, which is going to be 2x2. You can put it anywhere you want. I just put mine next to the lighthouse for demonstration purposes. I added my 2x4 on top of it. In another color blue. And for the sails, I went with the white. And I'm surprised we actually got this brick at this point. So yeah, I'm going to use the 1 2x3 slope to make my sails, and there's going to be our boat, which you need two of these opposite each other, which you'll see in a moment. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you got any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys on the next LEGO Worlds episode.